Welcome back. So I have really an interesting lot for you this time around. Um, this is a lot of 8 items, 7 slabs, and it was been on eBay for quite some time. Now, probably about 2, 3 months ago, approximately, it was listed as a buy now or best offer. I threw out an offer to the seller. It was about a third of what they were originally asking. Because, again, I don't have a problem with people doing it as long as they do it respectfully. And so I basically went back and forth a little bit, came up a little bit on it. We just couldn't come to an agreement, which happens. But I honestly told him, I said, look, the offer stands. If, for whatever reason, you change your mind in the future, by all means reach out to me. Well, about a week or two ago, seller reached out, said, I dropped the price on the listing, and if you can come up just a teeny bit more, I'll send them your way. And it was only, I think, $10, $20 more than I think my last offer. So looked at the lot again and decided to pull the trigger. And the reason why it's really an interesting lot, not just kind of the progression of how I eventually got it, but it's all boxing stuff. But what drew me to this is, of the 8 items, 7 of them are old Jewish boxers. The only exception being the guy in front of you, Jack Dempsey. So when to go through this lot, it's really an interesting one in my eyes. Hopefully you find it interesting as well. And I'll try and go through a little bit of, give you a little bit of information on each of the boxers, at least what I was able to find. So, starting off, we have a Jack Dempsey 1930 exhibit in SGC 4. Dempsey, born William Harrison Dempsey, 1895 to 1983. Kid Blackie, the Manasseh Mauler. 85 sanctioned fights. Is 68 wins, 6 losses, 11 draws. 53 of those wins were by knockout. And he is a member of the Boxing Hall of Fame. So there's the one non-Jew from the group. Next up, we're going to get into the much lesser known boxers. You have Isidore Schwartz, also known as Corporal Izzy Schwartz. The Ghetto Midget. Interesting name, to say the least. But he was 5'1", flyweight champion, 27 to 29. Born in 1902, died in 1988. 125 sanctioned fights, 70 wins, 34 losses, 16 draws, and 5 no contests. 7 of his 70 wins were by knockout. So, obviously not a power puncher. But interesting auto. Have to send this one out as well eventually. Corporal Izzy Schwartz. Next up, I don't have much on this guy. Al Gordon. This is a 1928 exhibit, red, and an SGC 3. And this is a little bit of information on the back. But his career record in 92 sanctioned fights, 61 wins, 19 losses, 11 draws. 22 of those wins were by knockout. So again, don't have much on him. Al Gordon's the name I got. Don't have any other name for him that I could find. You can only find that he was listed in the databases as one of the Jewish boxers from Philly. Next up, Archie Bell. This is a 1928 exhibit in orange and SGC 4.5. Archie Bell, Brooklyn, New York. So Archie Bell, born Archie Sapon in 1906, died in 1988. 80 career or sanctioned fights, 49 wins, 19 losses, 12 draws. So quite the interesting. A lot of these guys fought a lot. Some not as much, but some of them did fight quite a bit. Next up, we have Mushy Callahan, 1925 to 1929 exhibit, blue boxers, in an SGC 6, which is phenomenal. Junior welterweight champion, postcard back. Alright, Mushy Callahan, born Vincent Morris Shear in 1904, died in 1986. Took the name Mushy from his Hebrew name Moshe, and he was known as the Fighting Newsboy in 67 career fights, sanctioned fights. 48 wins, 16 losses, 3 draws, 21. Those 48 wins were by knockout. So there's Mushy Callahan. Next up, we have Ruby Goldstein. There's another 1928 exhibit in red, SGC 5.5. So Ruby Goldstein, born Reuben Goldstein in 1907, died in 1984. He was a contender, boxing contender in the 1920s. He was a referee in the 1950s. He went by the nickname the Jewel of the Ghetto. In 61 sanctioned fights, he was 55 wins, 6 losses, 39 knockouts of those 55 wins. So now we're going to get into some more well-known boxers. Right here we have a 1928 exhibit in green of Jackie Fields in SGC 4. Jackie Fields out of Chicago, Illinois. Was born Jacob Finkelstein in 1908. Died in 1987. Won a gold medal in the 1924 Olympics. And in 84 sanctioned fights, he was 72 wins, 9 losses, 2 draws, and 1 no contest. 31 of his 72 wins were by knockout. And he is a member of the Boxing Hall of Fame. So that is Jackie Fields / Jacob Finkelstein. And last one, probably the most well-known of the Jewish boxers, is Benny Leonard. It's a 1925 to 29 exhibit, blue boxers, postcard back. Benny Leonard in SGC 3.5. Of New York, lightweight champion of the world. So, Benny Leonard was born Benjamin Leiner in 1896. He died in 1947. Two of his nicknames were the Ghetto Wizard and Benny the Great. 220 career sanctioned fights. He won 186 of those, lost 22, 9 draws, 3 no contest. 70 of his 186 wins came by knockout. He is a member of the Boxing Hall of Fame. And unfortunately, he actually died in the ring as a referee in 1947. So that is the lot of mostly Jewish boxers that I was able to pick up. Again, it was one of those things where I had interest in it, and really it came down to the seller realizing I was the only one that was demonstrating interest, it seemed. So be patient sometimes with the offers you make, and just if you really want the item but you can't come to agreement, put a standing offer on the table. You never know. Sometimes that seller may come around later, even months later, and you can make a deal on it, as was the case with this item, or this lot, I should say. So that's the boxing lot, the Jewish boxing lot I was able to pick up recently. Hopefully enjoyed something a little bit different, but still within the larger scope of my PC. And until next time, please remember to collect what you enjoy what you collect, and don't let anybody, especially the market or a YouTuber, dictate that to you. And most importantly, have fun. And have fun by being active in this community. So find your way of participating, whether it's making videos, watching and commenting, going to live streams, group chats, going to your LCS or local card show, or simply talking about the hobby with family and friends. The more you put into it, the more you'll get out of it. The more you'll learn, the more your PC will grow, the more people you'll meet, and the more fantastic friendships you'll form. So I thank you very much for joining me. Hope to see you again. Have a good one, and bye for now.